Hello and welcome to Hamer Reviews. My name is Christopher Hamer and today we're going to discuss the Nikon MB-N10 Battery Grip for the Z6 and Z7 mirrorless cameras. Excuse me chuckling, I won't lie, this is a controversial subject. If anything, this is the most controversial accessory that Nikon has ever put out for sale. When the Z6 and Z7 launched, just over 2 years ago, they said there would be a battery grip, and people were looking forward to this battery grip. They even had a mock-up of it, and it looked suspiciously like the object I'm holding in my hand right now. Then it was delayed, and delayed some more, and delayed a little bit more, until they released this. Now, I have to be honest with you, for £180, it's not terrible value, but it's certainly not the best value ever. But the real issue here is that it doesn't necessarily do what people wanted it to. Despite it being called a battery grip, what people wanted was a grip with controls on it so you can take photos in portrait mode, portrait orientation nice and easily, and they wanted an autofocus on button, and they didn't get any of it. You don't get the autofocus selector, you don't get the shutter button, nothing. And boy, did people get angry about it. I mean, if you looked on the camera forums, there were some very vocal people that were not happy about this grip at all, and they let everyone know about it. And as a result, I think a lot of people got put off from buying it. Now, I mean, there isn't really an issue. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But I think there's a lot of people that now aren't buying this grip because they think it's going to be terrible and the worst thing ever. But in actual fact, I find it really, really useful. So let's take a look at it. First off, one of the features I love is there's a little storage space on the actual side where it goes into the camera that you can store the battery door, because you have to remove the battery door in order to fit it. For whatever reason, when Nikon was designing the Z6 and Z7, they didn't put any battery terminals or any control terminals on the bottom of the Z6 and Z7 as they have with previous DSLRs. The result is that in order to put a battery grip in, you need to actually have a fake battery inside the battery compartment. No biggie, but that does mean there wasn't any control terminals, which is why we have ended up with a grip that doesn't have buttons. I was fairly certain that we weren't going to see a grip with buttons when I looked inside my Z6 and just saw battery terminals at the top and nothing else, which means there was no way for them to send signals down this, so we were never going to end up with anything else. But so be it. When you mount the Z6 battery grip, or the MB-N10 battery grip, into the Z6, it's a very simple affair. You simply lock it closed with the screw system, and then it feels part of the camera. It's made out of the same materials, the same metals and the same plastics, with the same rubber grip on the bottom, so it feels really, really good. And I love how it makes the Z6 feel. To me, this is how the camera feels at its best, especially when I'm using longer telephoto lenses. I like the fact that it feels solid. It just doesn't, provide any give. It doesn't move around. It doesn't creak. It just feels good. It extends the grip a bit further down, which is great for me because I find that my little finger seems to fall off the camera a fair bit when I'm just holding it without the grip. So personally, I use it with it more than when I don't. In terms of features, because it is just a battery grip, all you can do is mount 2 batteries in it. Weirdly, Nikon made the choice to have one battery one way up and the other battery the other way around. The result is that when you're trying to fit a battery in here quickly, you often will get them the wrong way around, which can be a bit frustrating. It seems like an odd design choice, but Nikon made it, so be it. Nothing you can do about it. Another thing that this battery grip has is battery indicators and indicator buttons, the only button on the grip. Unfortunately, these are useless. You press it and it's currently telling me that both batteries are fully charged, which happens to be correct. But even if you have, say, 60% battery, it's going to tell you they're fully charged, which they really aren't at that point. So it's a bit pointless having the battery indicators. Personally, I dislike that, but again, it's one of Nikon's design quirks. What I love is the fact that the battery has a dedicated USB-C input. You can charge both batteries by just plugging in a USB-C phone charger and leaving them for a few hours, and you'll have 2 fully charged batteries. Now, I find for both batteries, I usually leave it overnight if they're empty, and come morning, they're all fully charged, so 6-7 hours later, really, really useful. It means I don't have to take the batteries out of the camera to charge it, and it just makes the process so much more simple. I think it's great that Nikon decided to do so, and I certainly recommend using a USB-C power delivery charger in order to do it. Very good. The thing is though, in terms of features, because Nikon didn't put any buttons on this, that's it. It is just a battery grip, and at £180, although not cheap, it does the job just fine. It works, it doesn't feel bad, it doesn't creak, it's well connected to the camera, it makes sense in terms of the design as well, so it feels good. I don't think we could have really asked for much more, and to be completely honest, all the people still shouting about it should probably just give it a rest, because it's there, people have the choice to buy it if they want to, but they shouldn't be put off by so many people shouting about how terrible it is, because it's simply not. It works absolutely fine. I really like the fact that when I'm shooting video, it will switch seamlessly from one battery to the other. I can even take one battery out while shooting video and it will just switch to the other one. No change in how the camera works. Very good implementation and actually very useful. So that's what I think about the Nikon MB-N10. It does work, it's very good, it's not terrible, it just doesn't have buttons. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.